here's where I'm at with this FXR, with this cable routing. This may be all for naught. One of the subscribers there, or watchers, said that they did make a special cover for the FXRs from 89 to 94, I think it is. And maybe this hole comes out at a different angle. I went online looking, and there is different part numbers for these things, but some of them were chrome, some were polished, some were a little bit different looking, but they all looked like the hole came out the same spot, but maybe it came out at a different angle. I know the soft tails were like this, you know, unless they changed the angle to straight in or something, but the minute you change this angle, then you change the angle on the inside of that pulley. So I did see one on there, it said for the FXR, guy wanted $193 for it. So it was a black one, it's on there right now. I'm not doing that. Anyways, this is done. I've already committed, so I've got to finish the project now. So I just polished up that arm there in the buffing machine. That came out pretty nice. So what I've done is I've gone to my old cable, the stock cable, took the fitting off the end of it here because it's just a loose fitting, and rethreaded this hole, drilled it and rethreaded it a little bit bigger. You got like 3/4 of an inch or at least a 1/2 inch of aluminum to work with. It's tons of aluminum there. And then I heated this fitting up here and I bent it over that way about 2 mil, 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch, something like that. I just bent it over a little bit out of the way. And then I epoxied this in last night. I had the heat lamp on it, and that's cooked right in there good. That's not coming out. That shit works really good. I roughed it up on the inside with some sandpaper, put that 3M panel bonding epoxy on the inside, just a thin little layer. I don't want to push it in, or it'll the glue will get on the cable and seize the cable, right? So, and then I sanded down this armored clutch cable, using like, I think I used like 80 grit or something like that. Roughed it up on the inside, outside, put the epoxy on it, slid it in, and put the heat lamp on it. And that's made a big difference, bending that out of the way. I also took a little bit off of the inside here, and I got a couple shims on there. And I don't even need the shims, but I know when I put the gasket on, I'm gonna pull this out a little bit farther, probably 10 thou farther, right? So now, it doesn't hit it all. It's hitting the stopper. So that's good to go. This goes on right there. And that's way above the pedal. You know, I think you only needed about maybe 2 inches above the pedal, 1 inch or 2 right about there. I got this adjuster turned all the way out so I could get that plunger out of the rear brake master cylinder. That's why I backed this all the way out. So I know it doesn't go that far. It should be right about down here somewhere. But there we go. That's all fitting pretty good there now. I'm not going to have to change the stopper down here. This stopper here is welded to the frame. I'm leaving that, not going to touch that. And what it's hitting now, it's going to hit this bolt here. It just stops against that bolt. What I am going to have to change now is this. Oh, this is stiff. The master cylinder mount. And when I went back to the stock one here, I had to bend it out a little bit so it lined up. And now, well, now it's got to come out way farther. And I'll have to figure it out. It's probably got to come out another 3/8 of an inch, and I don't want to bend it anymore. So I'm going to have to cut this, and I think I'll trace it out and make a new one, and I have to weld it onto this part here. I think that's what I got to do. I think that's what I got to do, but I'm thinking now. I've got aluminum shavings down my back. I'm thinking I could weld a plate to that cross member right there and bolt it from the other side, and it wouldn't be sticking out quite as far. I don't know, I got to think about that part. But I think I'm going to do this before I put the engine in, so that's where I'm at right now. I think that's everything I've got going. I'm gonna work on this next, get this alignment all done, then I'll put the engine back in and put the exhaust on, and just hopefully my exhaust is still gonna work. Okay. This is kind of how I got it going so far. I was thinking about taking this apart and making a dog leg going out 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch. It's supposed to fit in the center of the slot here. So I just kind of put it through the bolt on the other side, and that's pretty good there for alignment and everything. Like that works. It's kind of like that with the stopper there. Like, I mean, that works. I'll just put in a better bolt in here, maybe a hardened bolt, so it's a little stronger. I'm pretty sure I do have some hardened Allen heads in there, the black ones. I think I don't have to do anything. I think I can just go like that. At least that'll work for now. And to get her all try it out, then I don't have to change. This is all the stock bracket and everything. I don't have to change this stock bracket. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try it. It's gonna work. You know, that's gonna work. You never really hammer on your rear brakes anyways, unless you're trying to do a skid burnout or something, but it's your 70% of your braking is your front brake. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just work on this a little bit. I think that's gonna be strong enough. I'm gonna work on that. Okay, so I put a washer on either side, stainless washer. Gonna lock that in there. I put a hardened bolt in here, so I got lots of strength that way. That's not gonna hurt nothing. So now it's rubbing on this the peg mount here, and you can see where it's rubbing right there. I'm gonna put some marker, mark that. That thing is 3/4 inches thick. If you look from here to here, you know how much metal is there. So I'm gonna grind that down. Probably I'll square it up, probably take 1/8 of an inch off there, make a nice flat square, and then that'll work good. There's just tons of metal there. I mean tons. So that's the next step. Take that mount off, and probably take off well, here's how much it forces it out right here. You can see how much it forces it out. Maybe 1/8 of an inch. And yeah, I'll rub it a few times, leave some marks, and then I know where it's got to be ground down. That's next. The web is getting deeper. Here's the end result. Cut 1/8 of an inch off there. Still got some final sanding to do on there to get some of the nicks out, but you're never going to see that. And you can see how much I took off there. Not too much. Okay, we put that in there. Lots of work for, if there's a proper side cover, she would have made it a lot easier. Let's try it. And get some light on there, and then you can see. It's close, but that's good. And I don't even have the shims in there. The shims is going to bring it out farther. So that's good. I think that's all I'm going to do with that. I think that's going to work. It might be just touching there. Let's see. No, it's not leaving a mark. It's close though. But this screw at the end, I just chopped it off. I haven't rounded it off yet as well too. So That's gonna work. See this, the piston's nice and level too. If I milled the bottom of that mount down, you know, then it would be down on a bit of an angle too. So right now it's nice and level. That's gonna work. That should be all I need to do right there. There's the lever. Should be about there. That's right. This brake pedal doesn't go very much, maybe an inch. It's pretty firm. So yeah, that's gonna work. And I got lots of room above that screw, like a good 3/16 of an inch all the way above that screw. So there is a lot more flow, like if it kind of rocks on a radius, right? So there's a lot more room there. Okay, that's that. The bracket for the starter motor here, I'm just primed it and painted it, so I'm ready to put that on, put the chrome cover on. That can be all bolted on permanently. I can't put any of this on yet because I still got to take this cover off and waiting for that clutch push rod throw out. So this video is pretty much gonna have to stop until that comes in. It might be another 4 or 5 days, I hope. Could be 2 weeks. I'm gonna stop it for now, and meanwhile I'm gonna get the motor. I could put the motor in now, get everything else all hooked back up, and wait for that part. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to put that motor in. Oh my god, this is gonna be heavy. Are the two rear motor mounts there. They thread into that. Okay, I can pick it up, put it in there. Oh yeah, let's see if I can do this. I gotta loop it around that front motor mount a little bit, right there, and I gotta get that sealed in on the other side. Okay, let's see here. That's what I gotta get in. I gotta get that in right there. Okay, well I think I just got to get some bolts all started here and work my way around, and I'll just put them all in loose and slowly pull it in this way. That's what I'm going to have to do. when I put this all together, this wiring harness was hanging down up here, and the orange wire, I think that goes to the solenoid on the carburetor, I think. And it got pinched in between. I actually sheared it off. I had the bolts all tightened up, and then I noticed it sticking in there. Sheared that right off. And I had to loosen up all the motor mounts, all these ones again, all the motor mounts loosened off. And then get my pry bar in here and just pry this out a little bit, pull the wire out. So I'm back to square one again. Probably got to line them up a little bit again. This one here. Yep, I got to line it up. Got a few more little things together. I just wanted to see how this oil line was going to fit or interfere with this at all. It's not going to interfere. It doesn't go up that high. And these fittings, I wanted to see how that was going to work. I'll have to turn this one in, but I don't want to clamp it on there yet because I got to take this cover off. So it's just on there loose. And then this one will come in straight down like that. They're actually going to fit better now that the old clutched arm isn't in here anymore. Before it would rub against it and stick the clutch as well too. So it's going to work a lot better. Made this bracket over here. Can't see because it's black on black probably. But over to here, I put a little spacer in behind, a little washer. And then this will just go over top like this. Chrome cover. There's this big slot in it here. Put the slot to the bottom there so the rainwater can get out. Okay, let me get a screwdriver. Tighten that like that. Okay, so that's like that. That's together. I'm just waiting for this part here. And can't remember, there was something else I was going to show you. I can't remember now. But anyways, got some good news. Good news. Finally got my parcel of parts and lathe parts, so I can finish getting that lathe back together and working. So I'm going to open that up right now, see what's in here. Okay, let's see what's in here. The box is so beat up and damaged. First thing, my buddy packed this all in here for me, did a good job. Got it all in there. This is a Norton Commando Lockheed rear brake caliper that I'm going to use on that that brat bike that I'm building there. Come with the hoses and bracket and everything. I think I got that for like 75 bucks, 75 to $100. That there is probably worth 300 or 400 bucks if you had to buy that. So if I don't use that, I'm selling it. Oh, the guy even gave me all the lines with it as well too. Like, man, imagine the cost of all that stuff. Wow. Great deal. Ride it like you stole it. Getlowered.com. Thank you. Ride it like you stole it. Get out and ride. What did I order from these guys? Get lowered cycles. It's been so many months that I don't even know what I've got in here anymore. I thought there was more stuff than that in there. this box is smashed in here. Shipped to Tim Trotter. What the, oh, okay, that's somebody else. Holy crap. Okay. Lots of stuff in here. Oh, there's my little idle circuit jet for that FLH. I can't remember even the number now, 48 or 40, 46 I think. There's a live center for the lathe, so now I got 2 of them. I can do cranks. In there. No, fuck, everything's broken. Maybe the customs guys opened them all. That went right through the bottom. So there's my chuck center, so I can drill. That's these are called MT2s, the shaft taper. Got those 2. What's this? See, all these bags are open, so maybe that's just packaging, yeah. Okay, so all of these things here, guaranteed they're all for the tool stand. Some receipts. Get lowered. What the hell did I buy from that guy? Men's gift guy. Holy, it's heavy. Seems like I'm missing something here. So this is the tool chuck holder. Look at everything's just, it's been bounced around in the mail for 3 months. Everything's just broken. This is a tool post, this is. Quick adjust tool post. God, holy smokes, yeah. I'm gonna get this off so I can put it together. Now before I can make this thing work, I gotta do some machining on this thing. This part here. Oh yeah, so this is gonna go 2 different threads. There. There. And these are all the holders. Different types of holders. They slide in. So that's good. I can get working on my lathe there pretty soon and start making some parts. Okay, I guess that's it. Like, I have to go back and look at the emails. But what did I get from this guy? Getlower.com. Unless it was these parts here, but used parts. That's for that. Okay, that's it for now. I just put a coat, I buffed that down on my buffing wheel. I just put a couple coats of clear coat on it, just so it stays shiny. The original metal. I think it looks pretty good like that. I did the front one already. Down there. Oh, looks better without the light on. Yeah. Like that. This is the one for up here. So I'm just going to put that on right now. That goes in. No, you know what? I'm not going to put that on right now because I've got to, where is it? I got to put the intake manifold on first and goop all this up and get these bolts all snug. I cleaned that all up too. I wonder if I should put some clear coat on that. Maybe I should. It'll stay a lot cleaner. Okay, let me leave that for now. These intake manifolds, whether they're the stock Harley ones or an S&S one or whatever other types are, Brock, Screaming Eagle. You got to do this really carefully, slow, work each screw a little bit at a time. Don't tighten one side, then the other side. This has got to be done precise. I don't have the carb on the bike, and I don't have the cone on, so this is a perfect time to do this. My cone down here, timing housing, I can get a straight edge across it. It's dead level, so my table must be pretty level. Like that's pretty bang on level. It might need to be tipped a little bit in. So then I'm going to put the level across this intake manifold up here. And I want it to match. Right there. I just use dirty. I should just use a little mini one, but the bigger the level you use, the more accurate you can be. So I got a little. That's level there. That's enough. I got a little gap on this side, just a little. I don't want to be leaning on the bike. That's pretty damn close there. I've already done this 2 or 3 times, and then each time I just go around and snug these up. This one's a little bit loose now that I wiggle it. You want to squeeze that O-ring in there equally, perfectly equally in on both sides at the same time. You don't want them going on an angle. And that one's already snug. This one, then I'll go to the back side. A lot easier to do it with the coils off and the carb off. Get a lot more accurate. Right now my gap on this side is less than an 1/8, more than a mil. And so now this one can be tightened up a little bit more. I'm just going back and forth. But before I go any farther, I'm going to check this again. I don't want to push too hard on the bike or nothing. Make sure I'm not on a dowel pin. Oh, I'm rocking on the gear there. Just a little bit of a hair gap on this side, so I want the same on here. Whoops. So I think I can cut up just a little bit maybe. See what that does there. Hard to see with all the glare in here. I think this is getting cleaned up. I gotta stand on my tippy toes. Top can go over just a little bit maybe. Maybe a little bit too far. That's pretty good. This side's still kind of loose. I'm going to tighten it up some more. Get caught up. Okay, well, you got the idea. I'm gonna work on this. Okay, I got those clamped all the way down. Tight. That's a lot of work, getting that in there just right. It's a pain. And if I have to, I got these extra long bolts because the other ones were so short, they're only sticking in maybe 1/4 inch when that hole goes in a whole inch. So I gotta, it's going in now 3/4 inch into that hole. Pretty close to 3/4 inch all in, minus the spacer, because that fitting's a 1/4 inch. And I got this dead level with the cases down here. So everything should bolt on nice. It's nice and solid. I gotta say, when I took this engine apart and took that carb off and everything, this thing wasn't real tight. I could move it with my hands up and down. I didn't have it in 100%, or the bolts were so short, I believe it just loosened off a little bit. But yeah, that looks pretty good there now, nice and solid. And now I can put on the motor mount and the linkage back on, and I can probably put the carb on, and just gotta wait for the lifters for in here, and then the throw out in there. We're getting close. We're getting real close. Yeah, I don't want to put the exhaust on because it's going to be, I want to get this all on first. Okay, that's it, just the motor mount and the linkage on that side. I just stripped that down. That's the coil cover and the engine mount on this side. I thought I'd give it a quick coat of paint right now. I think I'm going to paint this too, the inner cover, that satin engine paint. It's almost identical to color to that. I think it's just a little bit more durable. I got to touch up a few spots on this head too, but can do that later. So okay, wait for that to dry, and then I can mount the linkage back on. That orange wire that I sheared off, hanging in here, I sheared off that orange wire. That's up here. That goes to the fuel gauge. Then this pink wire, which wasn't hooked up before, it was taped under here. That's going to go to the tachometer, and that's off of the new Ultima ignition system. And I've got it folded over here. It should be that blue wire. I'm pretty sure it's the blue wire. I'll check on. Yeah, it's got to be. That's the only wire left. I don't think it was the green. I got to double check again. One of them's for the if you got single fire shot, the one where, so I got one of them taped over, and then the other one's for the tachometer. I gotta look it up. I can't remember if it was the blue or the green was for the tack. Could be the green. I don't know. I gotta look it up. Yeah, the blue wire, that's for the single fire ignition. Single fire ignition here. So the blue goes to one coil, and the pink to the other coil. So the green, where is it? White, green, pink. Green goes to pink, which goes to the tack. So I'll hook that up this time because we'll have a tachometer. I've been struggling with this shifter ever since I bought this bike, and I put this mid control on, and you can see the plastic sticking out here about a good 3/16 of an inch, and I can never quite get the lever on all the way, and I thought it was the O-rings jamming, or I don't know, the shaft is bent on the end here, but now I realize, like, I'm moving it now, I can get the thing to move, slide through both sides. It's sticking out way too far here, and it's at the limit back there because it's pushing it out. So that plastic pipe is too long. So I'm gonna pull that plastic pipe out, and I'm gonna cut 1/8 of an inch off. I could probably cut a 1/2 inch off because it goes through about a 1/2 inch of solid aluminum at the back and a 1/4 inch here at the front. But I'm gonna cut 1/8 of an inch off, and I might have to take this cover off again. Hopefully I can pull it out here, but that's my issue right there. I could never get that thing right. I'm gonna cut some off of that. I think 1/8 of an inch, or pretty damn close to, maybe not even that. Maybe I'll just cut a little bit off so that the shifter will go on all the way. That's what I'm gonna do. That was difficult getting that in there right, but I think what it came down to is that inner tube. The one side of that tube, that sleeve there, has got 1 O-ring, and the other side had 3 O-rings. And that's the way I took it apart, and that's the way I took it apart last year, and I should have realized everything's wrong on this bike. Well, when I flipped it around and the 3 O-rings were this way, it's like there's 3 different sizes. So I put the O-ring on the last one, and it sticks out about 1/4 of an inch, and there's where it ends up, right there. So that's, when I had it the other way, that plastic sleeve was sliding in and out, and sloppier, so that works good like that. Okay, so yeah, I got this. Once I got this all lined up, then I had to bend this up so it's a little bit straighter here. That works good. You know, it's the top of that nut there. So that's it for today. I just, I still got to take this cover off to adjust the clutch when I get that anyways. And I haven't put oil in anything yet. And I could mount the carb. I don't think that'll be in my way. Now I'm just a matter of waiting for the parts here. So I think what I'm gonna do is leave that bike. That's about as far as I can do. Peter says he'll paint my tank for me. I wanna paint over this Indian on here, and he wants to paint this silver. And I'm thinking black. I've seen black ones. He said black, silver, whatever you want, but I thought I had to sand that right down, so I want to tape this red line off and just paint inside the red line. There's nicks and dings and everything all on it. That's why I'm trying to find another tank. I got one front fender. I want to find a rear fender and another tank, and then get them all, prep them, get them all ready, and then paint them, have them painted back to the original colors, and I'll keep them in a box somewhere, and I'll have the original set. I'm also making a 5-gallon tank for this too. Somewhere, that one there. That's all ready to go. I just got to weld it and weld in the bottom. And I could paint that blue. And that's the 5-gallon tank, so I'm going to put on this. Okay, that's it for right now. I think what I'm going to do now is put that motor together. I'm going to strip it down. I've got all my parts for my lathe, so I can spin that crank, make sure it's true. And that way, it'll get rid of all these parts in here. I can get rid of all these parts, have this engine all bolted together, complete. Just a good used engine. And I'll clean up the cases, everything. Because while I'm in the mindset of Harleys and familiar with everything, it's a good time to do it, I think, right now. Get that thing all back together in one piece. And then that job's done. Get that out of the way. And then I want to get that Harley done. Same thing, pull the top end off down, replace the gaskets, they're leaking. And get those bikes out of the way, and then I can be a lot more focused on that Norton. That's what I want to get back at. I get all these bikes done, all the parts out of the way, and then I can really focus on that Norton. That's my goal. That's it for this video. It's a long one.